Alright, launching in 3, 2, try and move that so it's not digging into my back. That is a very cute little sailing dinghy. Judging from where the seagrass is pointing, the tide is going out. I am paddling with the current right now, and that is why I'm finding it very easy to get up to speed. That's also going to make it very difficult to row back. And we're just flowing out with the tide right now. Super chill. This reminds me of floating down a lazy river in Las Vegas. Except without floaties and without water slides and without a cabana. It's very peaceful today. I don't know if you can see it there, but there's a great blue heron on the rock ahead of me. They like to hang out here for fishing because there are lots of little tiny fish and crawly things like shrimp here in the waterway. The great blue heron. Looking majestic in the wind. All right. Well, here we are floating on the gorge, and it's a nice sunny day, as you can tell from all the blown out highlights on this video. I really need to get some camera filters. Yeah. Anyway, I'm currently rowing with the current. And that means I'm going quickly down the gorge toward the Tillicum Narrows Reversing Falls, which I do not plan to go through today because that would probably be too dangerous with this much current. It's also probably going to be difficult to get back to where I started due to having to fight current the whole way on the way back. Which I already warned one kayaker about who wasn't familiar with the large amount of effort that was awaiting them on their return trip. Maybe I should take this opportunity to record a channel trailer. One of my least favorite YouTube features is the channel trailer. Nothing is more annoying than clicking onto someone's YouTube page and getting blasted with unexpected audio. Okay, lots of things are more annoying than that. Like, I don't know. How about smart devices? They work fine until the company goes out of business, and then you're left with a brick that you can't use anymore. or the company sells all of your data to some other nefarious organization, or the company hosting your smart device gets hacked, or you just don't really own the device and you can't modify it in any way. Yeah, you're really just not so much a product owner when it comes to smart devices, but a product victim, really. And it's not just like mega corporations that have this problem. It's also the little ones that come out with smart devices and then go out of business and leave you with something useless. Or, I mean, sure, mid-sized to large businesses, they'll come out with a device and then they'll just abandon it. You're left footing the bill. Big chunk of electronics recycling, or just garbage. I think right to repair is a good step towards allowing consumers to actually own the things that they're buying. But we kind of need to go further. We need those things to be designed with longevity in mind. This kind of goes into what has been going on with the Stop Killing Games movement. Because game companies are building these games that are super fun, but as soon as it no longer pays the bills, they cut off the servers, and either your DRM goes kaput and you can't play the game anymore, or the online server goes away and you can't play with your friends anymore, and their whole design team goes away, so you can't expect any new assets in the game, no new levels, no new fun. And it would just be nice if every product and game was designed with that end of life or longevity in mind. I wrote a whole post about this on my blog because, of course, I'm from that generation that loves to have a blog and updates it like, I don't know, every few years. It's been 2 years since my last post until I got this, I guess you could call it a rant about smart devices posted. I called it, "The Future is Dumb." My idea was that dumb would be an acronym for don't use Machiavellian bullshit. Or alternatively, don't use megacorp bullshit. But like I said, it's not just megacorporations that are the problem. Hello again. Yeah. If you stick to the shore, it might be a bit easier. See, I was right. Paddling upstream is harder. And I kind of feel like I'm paddling upstream when it comes to smart devices and other such discussions. But that's kind of why I wanted to talk about this while on the rowboat. So I can do what my son calls a rowboat rant. So, welcome to my new channel, Rowboat Rants, where I talk about what's bothering me, what we can do better. Or whether a quesadilla is a burger. coming up on Tillicum Bridge now. This current might make it too strong to go through, but I'll get close and I'll see if it's safe. I suppose I can always get out and walk past it if I need to get back. But Tillicum Bridge is a reversing falls, so it's sometimes classified as a waterfall, even though it's really just a very narrow passage. When the tide goes in, it becomes a waterfall, sort of, in one direction, and when the tide goes out, it reverses. Right now, the tide is going out, and that could result in a lot of turbulence and unpleasantness. And if I try to fight it on the way back, it could result in a lot of exhaustion. Speaking of which, I need some water. Alright, so I heard a rushing noise, and I thought, oh, that's probably just the traffic. But if we zoom in here, I think you might be able to see that it's actually the rapids under the reversing falls. And I don't particularly feel like shooting rapids today. And I haven't looked up when the tide changes, so I don't know. Seems like it would be dangerous to go this way, and when it comes to the water, I definitely don't like doing anything dangerous. And yet, I'm strangely drawn to it. Mostly by the current. Which I suppose isn't that strange at all, given the amount of water flowing through. So I'm going to get up close to it, and then I'm going to row away from it, close to shore. And hopefully we'll get an idea of how strong the reversing falls is, and I suspect it's very strong. And yet the heron seems to be walking on water almost, so I suspect there's a shallow spot right there. But underneath that bridge, the water is pouring down, and on the other side it's foaming up. And I can hear the roar from it. So, it turns out calling it like a waterfall is pretty accurate. And I don't particularly want to go through. But I do want to try and get closer to get some video so you can see what I mean. Here we are. The heron is indeed standing on like a sandbar here in the middle. And here we have the reversing falls. Maybe I can do a digital zoom on it, but it is nasty looking. Splashes and all kinds of foam and just roaring through. I don't want to risk it. I do not want to risk it, so I'm going to head back. It's going to be a struggle, but it'll be okay. Now, you probably know that currents can be strong and can pull people around and pull boats around. They can be very helpful too. If you time your trip just right, particularly in a sailboat, currents can get you there much faster than just trying to fight them. So if you go with the current, it's like getting an extra 1-2 knots of speed. Against the current, it's like losing 1 or 2 knots of speed. Right now, I am very much on the losing end of that bargain. So I've just tied the boat up at the Victoria Rowing Club here, and I'm going to walk over and try and get some video of the current. The Victoria Canoe and Kayak Club, founded in 1968. think it was even stronger when I was close by. It's probably calmed down a little bit now, so I don't see as much splashing or sea foam.
Here we go.
Oh my god,
The tide seems to have calmed down a little bit. The current is much lower, so I might try and get closer once more to the rapids. Maybe I'll be able to get through and see the other side of the Gorge Inlet. It does look much more calm. The rapids are no longer rapids, so let's do this. Alright. Paddling through the Tillicum Ridge. Tillicum Reversing Falls. There we go. Yeah, there's definitely some rocks here. But everything has calmed down significantly, so while I still have to worry about hitting them, I don't have to worry about hitting them at an absurdly high speed. And we're through. Now we've entered the lower Gorge Waterway, getting closer to Victoria's Inner Harbor. Nice electric canoe. That's what I was considering before the rowboat. Some interesting stuff up ahead. It's a good day for cruising on the gorge. Alright, now I'm going to try and set a speed record. Need to get more batteries. Already on 2 bars for this one, and it's brand new. Alright. I believe this is called Dead Man's Island. Yes, I have rowed into an industrial area. I should probably turn around. Where else are you going to see so many squished up cars? And not to mention an airplane flying overhead. Alright, well, I rode from Craigflower to Tillicum, and now I'm outside of the Glow Gastropub. The Harbor Ferry. So you've got choices. You can swim, or you can take the ferry, or you can row. Choices. There's a crazy amount of paddleboarders out today. All right. I am back once more at the Reversing Falls, and they have reversed. Luckily, the current isn't very strong yet. It is rushing a little bit, but well, we got to go this way, so we're going to go this way. Oof. Turbulent. Whirlpool. Whirlpool. Okay. That was pretty fun. Did get caught in a whirlpool at the end. You know, as a kid, I thought whirlpools would be a bigger part of my life, and it turns out they are. So, there you go. Ooh, some shade. That feels nice. It's very sunny today. Now I'm going with the current on the way back. All it took was waiting about 20 minutes for the tide to turn. And now it should be a nice, relaxing row back home. Anyway, thanks for watching, and catch you next time.